Hello, in this video we're going to be showing you another of those Polish, famous, popular, delicious recipes, Paczki. Now Paczki resemble donuts, and traditionally they are served on Fat Thursday, which is a Thursday before Lent season starts. Now here in the United States we have Fat Tuesday. So you could really serve them either Fat Thursday or Fat Tuesday. But believe me, whichever day you choose, they are delicious. Now, they are easy to make, but I have to tell you, a little time consuming, roughly around 5 hours. And the reason it takes so long is because the dough is these things. So we're going to first prepare the ingredients, we're going to mix the ingredients, and then we're going to let the dough rise. And it's going to take about an hour to 2 hours to double in size. Then we're going to go ahead and make Paczki, and then we're going to let them rise again. Now, to fry them, it only takes 5 minutes on each side, and then you're ready to enjoy it. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get going.
For the ingredients, it is best if you weigh all your ingredients. Now, we will need 4 cups, 580 grams of cake flour, sifted. Now I've measured the flour, then sifted. 6 large egg yolks and 2 large whole eggs. 1 cup, 216 grams of heavy cream. Now the cream has to be warm around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. 4 tablespoons, 57 grams of unsalted butter, melted. 6 tablespoons, 62 grams confectionate sugar, 1 teaspoon of sea salt. We will also need zest, a freshly ground zest of 1 lemon. Now, you can use zest of 1 orange as well, but in Poland, lemon is the more preferred choice. 2 tablespoons, 18 grams of either vodka or rum. Now, because I'm going to be using vodka, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons, 6 grams of vanilla extract. And then we will need your favorite jam. Now for the final ingredients, we will need 4 packets, 28 grams of active dry yeast. Now to proof the yeast, we will need 2 teaspoons of sugar and 1 cup of warm milk. Now the temperature of the milk has to be between 110 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. As you know, Paczkis are fried. Now we could do it 2 ways. We could do it on top of a stove in a large, big pot, or we could do it in the electric fryer like this. Now, whichever way you choose, the temperature has to be kept constant at 340 Fahrenheit, and they are fried about 5 minutes on each side. This way, they'll be nice and golden brown in color and cook through. Now, my preference is an electric fryer, because once I set the temperature to 340, well, it keeps constant. And I love the fryer like this. Now this fryer comes with a basket, but for frying Paczki, I'm not going to use the basket, because this way, I could fry about 4 to 5 Paczkis at a time. Now, for the oil, well, you could use either sapphire oil, sunflower oil, vegetable oil, or even canola oil, but it has to be marked for high heat. Now, I filled the oil according to the manufacturer's instructions. Now, I've also added about 2 tablespoons of vinegar. This way, the Paczki won't absorb as much oil when they are frying. So now we are ready to proof the yeast. My milk is the right temperature. To that, we're going to add sugar, whisk, the yeast. You want to stir, and now we're going to let this set till the yeast proofs. You'll know the yeast proof when it all foams up. So now we are ready to start making the dough. What I have here is a large bowl for my mixer. Now I make sure that the bowl was room temperature, so I ran it under hot water and then I dried it off. In the bowl, I have my eggs and sugar. Now we're going to do this partially manually by hand. So I'm whisking the sugar and the eggs together And this is how my mother would have done that. The whole thing by hand. Although we're going to cheat. At the end, we are going to use the mixer. So now, to this, we're going to add the warm milk, cream, and whisk. And now we're going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. The vanilla, the lemon zest. Now I'm using the vodka, salt, butter, and I'm going to whisk. Now we're going to add the yeast. Ooh, and the yeast have proved beautifully. Lightly mixed. Now we're going to add half of the flour. I just like to stir a little. Continue adding the flour, and then once we add half of the flour, we're going to take the bowl over to the mixer, and that's where we cheat a little. We're going to have the mixer do the rest of the mixing for us. So here we are. So now I'm going to take this over to the mixer. So now I'm going to set the mixer on low speed. And start adding the remainder of the flour. Now this dough is going to be very sticky. I could smell the lemon zest. A little bit more, and we are done with the flour. There. Now you could see the dough, how it's very elastic and sticky, and that's how it should be. I'm just going to let it mix for a little bit more, a couple more minutes. Now that all the ingredients are well blended, I removed my little gadget. Now it's time to scrape the sides of the bowl. So we're going to scrape all the sides, making sure you get everything from underneath. Then we're going to turn the mixer back on again. And just let everything mix for a couple more minutes. Well, this dough looks perfect. We're going to scrape the sides a little, just like that. It's nice and sticky, how it should be. And now we're going to cover the bowl. Now I'm going to cover it with a towel. You could cover it with saran wrap or paper towel. We're going to set this in a warm, draft-free place for about an hour to 2 hours till it doubles in size. Now, just a little note, if you have granite countertops, they are very, very cold. You don't want to set the bowl directly on the granite. So find a nice warm place in your house. Well, we are ready to roll paczki. To do that, we need a well-floured work surface like this one, some extra flour, a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper and some flour on top, so when we finish rolling the paczki and we lay it down, that they don't stick to the surface, some jam. So let's get going. So here is our dough, and it's beautiful. You want to make sure you flour your hands because the dough is very sticky. So now the dough has just deflated, and we're going to roll it onto this area. Oh, this dough feels fantastic. Now it is sticky. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle some more here. Let's just work the dough a little. And make sure your hands are well floured. Now this is a big piece of dough. So the best way to do this is to divide the dough into 4 equal parts. And this will make things easy for us. And you know what's so great? This dough smells fantastic. Set this right there. All right, so there's a dough. Now, let me show you how easy it is to roll paczki. Now we're going to make sort of like a rectangular shape here. There. It's really very easy. So here we go. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to divide it in half, and then each of our pieces we're going to divide into 3 pieces. I'm going to try to make them sort of equal. There. I think that should do it. Remember, they don't have to be perfect. There. And now, for each of the pieces, go ahead and drop your jam right in the center. There. Just like that. Now, as you notice, I'm going to get 24 paczki the way I'm doing it. Now, the other way to do it is to make a log out of each piece and then cut them into either 5 or 6 pieces. And there. Now, all we do right now is going to come bring all your ends together, just like that. Twist a little. And don't forget to put some flour. And there, flip it, and there is your perfect paczek. And now we're going to put it on the parchment paper. So let me show you another one. Here we are. Just grab all your ends, just like that. Grab them together there. Twist. There we go. Now that I have finished making all the paczkis, we're going to let them rise one more time. So we're going to cover them up. Now I like to use a paper towel this time. So here they are. So we're going to let them rise for about half an hour to an hour. Well, now that the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to place the paczkis right in the oil. Now, I'm going to put 4 paczkis right now because they're pretty good size. But if you have smaller ones, depending on its size, you could fit as many as 6 paczkis at a time. So, and I like to use a timer. So we're going to let these fry for 5 minutes on each side. Well, paczkis are done. Now we're going to remove them and place them on a paper towel. Now, as you notice, these are pretty good size paczkis. I fry them 5 minutes on each side. Now, if you make yours smaller, in other words, if you're going to go for the 24 paczkis, adjust the frying time. You might want to do them 4 minutes, but not less. To finish them off, we're going to place the hot paczek in sugar. Now, this happens to be granulated sugar. You could use confectionate sugar as well. And now we are ready to enjoy them.